this beautiful little planet that we're on. It's big to us, small compared to the universe, and it's small enough for the eternal, omnipotent God to love all of us and do things to draw us to Him. And He wants us with Him. From New Life Ministries, this is Going Deeper with Stephen Arterburn. I'm Stephen Arterburn. And Going Deeper is all about taking the tough issues, the hard issues of life, looking a little bit deeper inside so that we can gain some insight into our lives. Hi, Steve Arterburn here, and thanks for joining me for Going Deeper. Did you ever like it when somebody read a story to you? Well, I'm going to read a story to you today. And it is a true story, and it illustrates number 19, the toxic faith belief number 19. And rather than me tell you what that one is, I want to read the story to you first. So, here we go. One of the first people to ever enter New Life treatment centers was a confirmed atheist. One night, he was in a suicidal rage and out of desperation went to the phone book to find the number of a psychiatrist. At 3 a.m., few psychiatrists are available by phone, but ours answered her own phone. She instructed the desperate man to come there to the center that night. Well, he woke up the next morning after being admitted that night, or early in the morning, and said that if there was a God, well, then he had played a terrible trick on him by landing this atheist in a Christian treatment center. It was tough for him to stay, but he struggled and managed to make it to the fourth day. On the evening of the fourth day, a remarkable event happened. The man was an alcoholic and went with the other alcoholic patients to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. At the end of the meeting, a young boy stood up and asked for help from the group. He told them that he was suicidal. He said that he was visualizing in color putting a gun to his head and pulling the trigger. The atheist could relate to him since he had been in that same frame of mind just 4 days earlier. When the boy sat down, the room was silent, and suddenly the back door of the room opened, and a man walked in wearing what looked like a turban and a robe. He said his wife and kids were in the car, but he felt that God wanted him to come in the room and say something. He had not heard the boy, but relayed the following. If anyone here is thinking of killing himself, I want to encourage you to reconsider. God loves you and wants you to live. This turban on my head is a bandage from where I put a gun to my head and pull the trigger. Fortunately, I survived so I could come here and tell you not to do it, that God loves you. Our atheist patient was no longer an atheist after that night. He believed God had sent that man especially to talk to that boy. The other patients believed God had sent the boy and the man to show the atheist that he's a real God. I believe God interrupted the natural course of events to build the faith of all those in that room and potentially all those who read or hear this story. It's one of millions of stories where God intersects, upturns some of the natural laws under which we exist and function, and then creates a miracle. Something that in and of itself wouldn't have happened without God's intervention. So this belief, this toxic faith belief number 19, is that God is too big to care about little old me. Now I just want you to think about this. God can care about you because He is so big. I mean, He created this universe, and I forget exactly how much matter there was that was used, but it wasn't very much. It all blew up and expanded, still expanding, and God did that. And they call it the Big Bang. And if you have a Big Bang, somebody's got to cause that Big Bang. But God has in and of Himself a desire for communion with us, to be intimately involved with us. He wants a relationship with us. It's so amazing that that's how God is, that He has room for us and a desire for us. And so throughout my life, I have seen God intervene in my own life. I have seen things happen that I certainly couldn't have done on my own if I didn't have a God that loved me enough to be involved with me and invite me to be involved with Him. So whenever you walk around and see this great planet and look up at the moon, the sun, and the stars, think about how big that God is. And we have no evidence anywhere in all of those light years and light years away that any other little ball out there has people on it. And if it did, we would have heard sounds or something. They've spent millions and millions, billions of dollars to try to find the other people that are out there. Nothing. Well, if they were there, I guess Jesus would have to go die for their sins too. Anyway, this beautiful little planet that we're on, it's big to us, small compared to the universe, and it's small enough for the eternal, omnipotent God to love all of us and do things to draw us to Him. And He wants us with Him. So I know God loves you. Here's one of the things that's pretty astounding about God. Two things. One, the Bible says God is love. He is love. And if God is love, that's Him, love, then you're going to experience that love as His creation. And then the other thing, we run from God, we're afraid of God, we don't take the time to get to know God. How about just going on YouTube and doing a little search for, is there a real God? And listen to some great apologists talk about the evidence for the real God that's there. Well, thanks for joining me for Going Deeper. We've got 2 more Toxic Faith Beliefs to go, and we'll do the next one next time right here on Going Deeper. God bless you, and hope you have a great day. Thank you for joining me for Going Deeper. I hope something I've said may have helped just a little bit. If you have a question you'd like me to answer or comment, just email me at stevesocial@newlife.com. I'll see you next time.
If you want to support Going Deeper with Stephen Arterburn, be sure to subscribe so you never miss another episode. And if you know someone who would benefit from this episode, be sure to share it with them. See you on the next Going Deeper with Stephen Arterburn from New Life Ministries.